How to become the best player in Fall Guys. Hey guys, welcome back to LubeHub. Today we'll talk about how to become the best player in Fall Guys. Let's head into it. Number 4. This isn't your average battle royale. Forget duking it out in one map. If you want to earn the Fall Guys equivalent of the Victory Royale, the Crown, you'll have to make it through 5 blistering stages. Only 45 of the game's 60 players can make it through the first round, and you guessed it, each subsequent stage eliminates an even larger number of players. This means the number of contestants rapidly starts to dwindle as the ultimate knockout continues, making the last couple of rounds a surprisingly stressful close quarters competition. So much for bright colors being calming. The stages here vary greatly too, more on that later, but unlike in other battle royales, you don't level up or gain new tools or weapons as you progress. Despite there being 4 wildly different game types on offer, your abilities stay exactly the same throughout. Armed with just basic movement, a jump, a dive, and the ability to grab objects and people, Fall Guys is a deceptively simple looking game. Yet it's how you use these tools that will determine whether you wind up falling to your death or wearing that fancy looking crown. Number 3. Take the time to understand the different game modes. As you wobble your way through this goofy game show royale, you will find yourself competing on one of Fall Guys' 25 different maps. Called rounds, each randomly selected level falls under one of the 4 different game types: race, team, survival, and final. It's worth taking the time to understand how each works, and their nuances. Knowledge is power, squishy friends. Let's start with the race maps. These larger rounds make up the bulk of the stage selection, serving as each game's introductory round. These free-for-all levels see you sprinting your way across a daunting looking playground littered with all kinds of hazards and obstacles. From a level that sees you dodging an avalanche of balls to a stage filled with fake doors, a tactical mind and a good wobble will get you through. Remember, the opening race round starts off with 60 players, but only the first 45 players to finish will progress to round 2. Be cunning, be quick, and don't fall behind. The team games do exactly what they say on the tin, grouping you up to a cluster of other contestants, splitting you all into 3 teams, and tasking you to complete the goal. Whether it's the wonderfully chaotic egg scramble that sees each time stealing eggs from each other and depositing them into their respective goals, the Rocket League-esque fall ball, or navigating the ball-based obstacle course rock and roll, these team games are all medium-sized maps, meaning they are triggered after the initial first round race. Knowing how to master each round is essential. The third mode on our list is survival. This mode tasks players to remain on stage at all times. If you get knocked off, it's game over. Whether it's avoiding the giant rotating beams in Jump Club, the pattern memory game Logic, or you have to stand on the correct pattern, or fall to your doom, or doing your best to be the last one with a tail attach, entails stealing chaotic shenanigans of tail tag, survival maps embody a different and far more tense tone to the other game types. Lastly, of course, we have the final stages. These are the stages that net you to the Fall Guys equivalent of Victory Royale, the Crown. These rounds house the fewest contestants, and therefore are the smallest and toughest maps in the game. No pressure then, keep your nerves and just focus on the stage hazards. Watch out for opponents trying to sabotage you. Number 2. The grab button. For most of your time in Fall Guys, you'll find yourself frantically hammering the jump button while waddling around like your life depends on it, mainly because it does. Yet while you spend the vast majority of the time avoiding danger, sometimes in order to succeed, you need to be the danger. Make sure to take full advantage of the grab button. Map to shift on PC and the right trigger on PS4, you'll want to get acquainted with this one. While certain games require the grab button, like Egg Scramble and Team Tail Tag especially, this unsuspecting action can actually give you an edge during the other game types too. On the merciless survival map Jump Club for example, you can use your grab to send other opponents hurling to their death. The secret to using the grab button to sabotage other players is to press the grab button the exact moment your target is trying to jump. Work together with your enemies. It's already been mentioned, there are team-specific rounds, but sometimes players will need to work together even on solo rounds. Even surprisingly tricky Seesaw stage is a brilliant example of this. While it's not a team-based round, if you and your opponents don't manage to balance out each tipping platform correctly, it'll mean death for everyone. In rounds like these, players will have to pay attention to each other, carefully progressing and letting other opponents pass from time to time. Otherwise, you may not make it across the finish line. Number 1. Dive your way to victory. When you're in a tricky situation, the dive button can be a difference between victory and failure. Map to control on PC and X on PS4, dive can send you hurling across the map. It's incredibly useful for pushing balls and other objects, and can help propel you to that finish distance over the finish line. Be warned though, there's a cooldown on the ability. If you mess up your dive, be prepared to be left laying on the floor for a few seconds. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.